it's Mrs. Myers here. I am going to read to you a nonfiction book today. It's called U.S. National Parks, Yellowstone National Park. So the reason I picked this book was because in my Google Classroom, my class and we went on a virtual field trip to Yellowstone Park like a couple weeks ago. So they got to go on a virtual tour on their website, and it was really cool. So if you haven't done that, I really suggest you go to the Yellowstone National Park website and go on the virtual tour because it's a lot of fun. But we're going to go ahead and read this book and learn a lot about Yellowstone. When we get to the end of the book, I have a couple questions for you guys. A lot of it has to do with text features and whatnot, so make sure you're paying attention to those as well. So here we go, Yellowstone National Park. Chapter 1, atop a volcano. Would you like to see huge geysers or see waterfalls in a canyon? Maybe you want to see mud pots. These are pools of hot, bubbling mud. Welcome to Yellowstone National Park. And we have a label here that says mud pot. That's what they look like. The park is in 3 states. Most of it is in Wyoming. Parts are in Montana and Idaho. A volcano sits beneath it. This is what created the geysers. See hot springs. These are steam vents too. So this picture is the Grand Prismatic Spring. It's really pretty. Okay, let's look at this chart. It says, take a look. The volcano erupted about 640,000 years ago. It made a caldera. Magma is close to Earth's surface. So these colors looks like it labels all the parts in this picture. So this red part's the magma. This yellow part is the partially molten crust. And then we have this like purple part is the Earth's crust. And this is the caldera. And then this is the geyser. And that's what we can see right here, the blue part. This unique area is home to many animals. You could see grizzly and black bears, elk and moose roam. Lakes and rivers are home to otters and beavers. Hayden Valley is a great place to spot bison. And this is what Hayden Valley looks like. And look at all the bison. So many. That's so cool. What do you think? The bison in the park almost went extinct. Why? People hunted too many. By the early 1900s, there were only about 25 left. The government made hunting them illegal. This helped save them. Do you think this was a good idea? Why or why not? We actually learned a lot about that and why all that happened earlier this year when we learned about the Native Americans. Okay, Chapter 2, Wonders of the Park. Hot springs created the terraces at Mammoth Hot Springs. Hot water flows over the terraces. Minerals build up. Special bacteria give areas color. Boardwalks allow people to explore. So this is a picture of Mammoth Hot Springs. Dip your toes in Yellowstone Lake. This lake is too cold for swimming, but it has 141 miles of shoreline to explore. The climate of this park changes with the seasons. The water is cold even in the summer because of the high altitude. This is Yellowstone Lake. So high altitude means it's really high up, like a mountain. So it just stays really cold up there. Okay. Watch Old Faithful erupt. This is the most famous geyser in the park. It goes off about every hour or hour and a half. Water shoots at least 100 feet into the air. Some blasts reach 180 feet. This is what Old Faithful looks like. So cool. I really want to see this in person one day. Did you know scientists study Old Faithful's eruptions? This helps them predict when it will erupt next. They can predict how high the water will shoot too. They can predict perfectly, but they get closer all the time. They can't predict perfectly, but they get closer all the time. Head to the Norris Geyser Basin. You can see Steamboat Geyser. It's the tallest geyser in the world. It blasts 300 to 400 feet into the air. There's the Steamboat Geyser. It's huge. Did you know Yellowstone has its own Grand Canyon? There are many hiking trails around the rim. Go to Artist Point. It is on the edge of a cliff. It offers the best view of the canyon. So this is the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. It's beautiful. Look at that water. This looks so nice. Chapter 3, Human Impact. People have lived in this area for more than 10,000 years. Native Americans made their own tools. Many were made from obsidian found in Obsidian Cliff. So obsidian is like a type of rock, and they used that to make this obsidian knife. There are many buildings and monuments to see. Some are almost as old as the park itself. This is the Ark at the north entrance. President Theodore Roosevelt laid the first stone in 1903. It's pretty cool. Many people work in the park. They protect it. They study its geology. Would you like to learn more about the park? You can. Talk to a park ranger. Rangers lead hikes too. Yellowstone is an amazing place. What do you want to see first? So here's a park ranger showing all these kids around. What do you think? Yellowstone was the first national park. It was founded in 1872. The government runs these parks. They protect the land, animals, and plants in them. Do you think this is important? Why or why not? Okay, so we're at the page where I'm going to ask my first question. So let's look at this chart right here. It's called Quick Facts and Tools. So I want you to just really take a look at this map and look at these facts at the bottom. And my question for you is, what can we learn about Yellowstone by looking at this chart? So there is a lot that we could learn from looking at this chart. There's a lot of information here. One of the things that stuck out to me the most was right here where it says approximate yearly visitors, 3.5 million. So that means 3.5 million people come visit Yellowstone National Park every single year. It's a lot of people. Some other things that we learned from this chart was that its location is in Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. So we can see that in this map. The green part is Yellowstone National Park. And then the states, Wyoming is this yellow state, Idaho is the orange state, and Montana is the purple state. So we can see it's in 3 states. It was established in 1872. It is 2,221,766 acres. So that sounds huge. And its top attractions are the Mammoth Hot Springs, Old Faithful, and Yellowstone Lake. And we can see those on the map. Here's a glossary. So if there were any words that we didn't know in the text, we could have used the glossary to help us understand them. Okay, and then I have 2 more questions on this page. So let's look at the index first. We've practiced a lot this year how to use an index. So let's just get a little bit more practice in. So if I wanted to learn more about volcanoes in this text, what page would I need to go to learn about the volcanoes at Yellowstone? Okay, if you said page 6 and 7, you're right. So first I need to scan all these words to find volcano. There it is. And then see what page it says. 6, 7. So that means I need to go to page 6 and 7 to read about the volcano. Okay, well that is the end of our book. What is something new that you learned about Yellowstone that you didn't know before? Something that I definitely learned that I didn't know before was that Yellowstone was in 3 states. I didn't know that. I knew it was in Wyoming. I didn't know there was a little bit in Montana and Idaho too. So that was really cool that we learned that. So that is the end of the book. I really hope you liked it. Make sure when you're done listening to the story that you answer the question in Google Forms and you make sure that you submit it so your teacher knows you listened to this story. Okay, thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye.